And hello! Today's video is sponsored by Sennheiser because we're looking at the new Sennheiser Profile Wireless. Looks like this, but before it can look like this, of course, we gotta take it out of the box. And when I did that, my mind was already blown because design-wise, product design, this is one of the finest pieces of equipment I've ever had the pleasure of operating. Wow! Let's get into it.
No strings attached, I move so free. The sound of clarity made just for me. German hands designed so fine, makes my world sound so divine. Forget about the cable life, live mics here cuts through strife. Plug it in and you'll feel bliss, wireless waves you won't miss. Clip it on and make a move. Mic for camera, groove so smooth. Mobile phone, it works just neat. Ideal audio's got the beat. Forget about the cable life, live mics here cuts through strife. Plug it in and you'll feel bliss.
So the market is flooded with these lapel mics, right? And they're wireless and you can go to your phone and some plug directly into your phone. That's all good. There are very inexpensive ones. You can literally look on Amazon and you find anything from $50 upwards. One of the very, very popular ones is the Rode Wireless Go, I think it's called. I've never had the pleasure of checking them out. What I've been using for quite a while is the DJI system. I will show you, because even though Sennheiser sponsors this, is a review channel, which means we will contrast and compare. Now, this is what you get from DJI. Many things here in the little pouch, like these dead mice for wind. I can tell you already, Sennheiser's fastening system for these is the best that I've seen. And then in here is a metal case, which is very nicely done DJI. And in here we got the transmitters with a magnet on it, absolutely great. And then the receiver, very tiny, absolutely very tiny, tinier than the Sennheiser. Not lighter though, you can't beat physics. And then adapters for USB-C and Bluetooth to connect to phones. So the whole charge case has USB-C and charges. This is all the same thing that Sennheiser does. And it is a bigger product for a reason. It comes in this case, very similar with cables and the dead mice. But you can use the Sennheiser as a handheld mic, which is pretty damn cool, right? This very likely will fall off and you will lose it at the first trade show where you're using this. So you really, if you're using it as a handheld mic, want to make sure this you know where this is at all times. Now, why would you want to do this? Because this is not as frightening. This looks like a microphone and you are keeping a bit of personal distance if people have a personal space bubble. When using this, which you could, and I have done this, like this, you're literally putting your hand in people's face. I mean, would you like this? Probably not. So using this as a handheld is a great idea. You can also attach Sennheiser lav mics to this. You can already see, we're going to go really into this, how this is all hidden in this one thing. It's so beautifully designed.
Creators rise, your time is now. With perfect sound, we'll show you how. No more echoes, no more noise. Sennheiser lifts your voice. Forget about the cable life, live mics here cuts through strife. Plug it in and you'll feel bliss, wireless waves you
We're
won't.
gonna go into all this stuff. We're gonna go through all the menus. Yeah, there's the receiver, which you can connect to a camera. We're gonna do this. You can keep it in here, have the mic here, record there. You can mount this on tripods. You can mount this whole thing on a tripod. You can mount this on a tripod because everything's got 1/4 inch. You can record on the transmitter itself. So you wouldn't need any of this. You can only use this. Hit the record button. It's got 16 gigabytes for 30 hours of recording time. Hit the record button, record with this, record, record, record. Go home, plug in USB, and there's your audio. And I'm actually going to do this for this video right now. Right now, I'm talking into a very nice shotgun mic. So I'm going to hit record. It turns red. And from now on, we're going to hear this. Well, actually, no. All the close-up shots are the shotgun again because we're going to have to see this. So you got 30 hours of recording time. When you go into safety mode where it records a second track at a lower volume, you've got 15 hours of recording time. Why do we need the safety mode? This, on the internal recording on the transmitters, records in 32-bit wave. 32-bit means you really have almost infinite dynamics and you cannot really clip it. Now with this, it's got 24-bit, which means smaller files, but also more clippable than 32. Very clippable? No. So I think it's still safe. I've used it, not a problem at all. I already made videos with these. So there are two downsides to this system versus the DJI. 24-bit versus 32. And I actually think it doesn't necessarily have Bluetooth to connect directly to the phone, which the DJI and the Shure can do. So you wouldn't need the receiver on your phone to record with it. In this case, you need to pop out the receiver, plug it into your phone, because it didn't mention anything about Bluetooth directly to the phone. However, I do not recommend that, and so that's probably why Sennheiser is not offering that, because when you're doing that with the DJI or the Shure system, you can tell I've spent some time with all of those, then you're only recording in 16-bit, which to me is not a safe thing to do. You will very likely have clipping, or when you're recording very quietly, you will have noise issues. So I can't recommend connecting directly with one of these to your phone, which is probably why Sennheiser doesn't offer it as a solution. And you simply take this out, put the adapter on, put it on your phone. It's very lightweight, and Bob's your uncle. It's got a longer recording time. I think twice as long recording time as the DJI, maybe even longer, because the DJI's got an 8 gig memory. This has 16 and records in 24 versus 32-bit, so it actually has a longer recording time. 30 hours is ridiculous. 30 hours on this. That is insane. The other thing where there's a distinction is the DJI has built-in active noise cancellation, so it focuses on vocal and dims down the surrounding noise, which is noise. Get it? If you're doing a reel or something on your phone, you're Instagramming, something like this, and you want it to be instantly more usable without post-processing. For me, it doesn't necessarily matter because I do use post-processing. So I'm going to take this into Final Cut and put my noise cancellation and de-reverb and all that on it. So that means it's not as relevant for me, but if that's something you want, then that could be a deciding factor. So let's go in detail and look at all of the things that come with it and how to connect it. So here we are. We're going to take a look at the Profile Wireless from Sennheiser in depth with menus and everything, and obviously also do some sound tests. Full disclosure, I'm not using the mics because they're in here. In order to show you those, they have to not be used. So that'll come in a bit. I'm talking into the shotgun that is right there on the camera. So you can see we've got the wind poppy filter here when you're using it as a handheld reporter mic, which I think is a very cool idea because pointing this into someone's face is just a bit too personal. And so if you want to appear more professional using this, however, this will likely fall off very easily, so you got to guard this with your life, because if you put this in your back pocket, this is going to be gone. So you could already see what I just did. I popped out the mic. Sennheiser did a ridiculous design project with this. Everything is in here. All this goes into the case. I lied, not everything is in here. There is a USB cable and the camera cable, TRS, which we're gonna employ when we're testing it with the camera. Also, the little wind poppy filters, dead mice, I guess, not dead cats, which attach very, very securely to the transmitters. I'll show you. So these are securely in here, and when you're using it as a reporter mic, you can either use that or the little dead mice that I call them. Getting them out, they will not fall out. You have to click this and then pull it out. Click. There's only really one way to put these in. And at the bottom, this is brilliant, there's actually little rubber stoppers. They charge in here. You can charge these individually with USB-C. They are indicators for power, connected. Right now it's not connected. And then also whether it's recording or not. You can mute the recording also, either with the transmitter itself or on the receiver. Then you've got USB charging for the receiver, or you can plug the receiver with USB-C directly to a computer and use this as a small audio interface for the two mics and record directly to a computer for a podcast, a Zoom call or whatever, which is really cool. And there's headphone out and a out to the camera. You get this one out by clicking here, and it comes out the side like this. And it is extremely lightweight, very, very small. Not quite as small as the DJI, but very, very close. Sorry to say this, but definitely smaller and more lightweight than the Shure counterpart. And you can see it in here. You can see the battery charge. You can operate it in here with the touch screen. We're going to get to that. Here we have the magnets for the mics if you want to attach them with a magnet. There is a 1/4-inch screw right here to attach it to a little stand or in any stand you want. And if you don't want to attach the whole thing as a mic, you could even attach each mic individually, because in the clip right here, there is also a 1/4-inch screw. So that's really, really well professionally thought out, Sennheiser. If you put this on anything metallic, they will come out and you will lose them. So be careful not to lose these. And then on the side here, there's a compartment. Very amazing. That's where you charge the whole thing with one cable. And you've got lightning, which is on its way out, of course. You know, lightning is not going to be used a lot longer, but it's there. You've got USB-C, the connector of choice, and you have, again, threaded with a 1/4-inch hot shoe adapter to put it on top of the camera, as we will do in a sec. So for now, let's turn it on. That wasn't the easiest thing for me to do. They are on. Why is it on? So a long holding press will turn the whole system on and off. But then long hold, and then you have to let go, I think, when, there we go, yes, when you see the levels. Okay, let's go through this and see if you can see anything here. So you can see I'm talking into it, and we can see levels on both. So the way this works is you can swipe in the left direction to access mic 2, I think. See, yes. Or swipe back in the right direction to access mic 1, or swipe up to go to the main menu. We have the mode, you click on it, and we've got stereo, mono, and what does it say? Safety. So stereo means each mic goes out individually into the camera left and right, which is of course the best way to do any kind of post-processing. Mono sums it together if your camera only has a mono input, but you can still use both mics, but you have no way to separate the voices later, unless there's some AI that could be helpful there. And safety will record a lower level on one of the sides, and even when you're recording on the transmitters, apparently it's recording a stereo track and records I think -6 dB safety track, which is always good in case you have really loud clipping somewhere. So go back and you swipe up. The next thing is headphones, which is of course the headphone volume. Swipe up, we got backup record. You can turn that on or off. I did not find anything about that in the manual. I heard that once the transmitter and receiver lose connection, the transmitter will automatically start recording. So that would be very good to have. Not sure we can test this here. Pairing, rotate display if you want to look at it this way. You set the time, the date, you can reset the whole thing, and that's it. So individually for the mics, we have recording on or off. You can also just show you double tap. There's mute, so you could mute one. You can also do that on the transmitter. There's the individual gain for the mic that you can set by just going plus or minus if one needs to be louder. Swipe right, that's how. There's oh my god, this is very finicky, but it's tiny. Low cut, you can turn that on. You can turn the lights off on the transmitters in case they would be disturbing because they're on the lapel. We don't want that. And you can look at how much memory you've got left. I've got 30 gigs on here, and I can delete it, meaning reformatting the transmitter. And by swiping in the other direction, I've got all these 7 settings for the other microphone. So that's what you can do there. And again, you can take the whole thing out, mount it any way you want. Oh yeah, you could mount this on a 1/4 inch with the hot shoe adapter. So there's the whole system. By double tapping one of the mic's levels, it is now recording. That's how simple that is. So what you could do is, for super backup, both of them recording. Now you click this, now the screen is locked, I can't accidentally turn it off. And bam, you're doing a whole recording session, uses as a reporter mic. Unlock the screen, click, 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 click. Long press, turn it off. And you're good. Go to your next location, long press, click, 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 lock, use it. Or of course, use it like this. You can turn them on individually. You can hit record on here, and I would always record on these, even though it's going to a phone or something. It's always a good idea to just do that. There's 30 gig on there. So let's mount one of these mice. You turn it, and this is absolutely safe. On a lot of these, they fall off. This is a great solution. Of course, you can also plug in a Sennheiser lav mic into this, put this in your pocket, and Bob's your uncle. And then you have a tiny lav mic on this. That's also a great solution if you have some of those lav mics lying around. This is metal, and of course, the magnet will hold this on your lapel. Oh God, that's a strong magnet. So if you have a tabletop stand like this for a podcast, whatever, all you do is mount this whole thing to it, and you have a little stereo studio right there. Pretty nifty. Talking to it, self-contained, could even go to a computer with the USB out right there. Very nice system. Or you want to use one of those mics like this. Pop it out. Get the mouse out. Good to go. Record straight onto it. You don't even need any of this. And then connect with USB-C and drag the files off to a computer. That's what I've done in the past, and it works absolutely perfectly. That is amazing. This is your whole mono studio. So if you're a filmmaker and you need a very easy way to capture audio at a distance, then, well, this will work. Make sure you take this out of the hot shoe and don't lose this. Open the little flippity flap, take the hot shoe mount out, shove it in there. Pop out the receiver. Now that's kind of in the wrong direction now. Oh well, you can also do this. Haha, I get it. Any way is possible. So there you go. You can absolutely monitor signals, but now this is the wrong way around. So I would have to, give me a sec, turn this around. Oh, now the display automatically rotates. That's what that means. That is amazing, see? It automatically rotates. All I got to do is connect the output, the beautiful blue Sennheiser cable, to the camera's mic input. Make sure you're not going into the camera's headphone output. That has happened. And we're ready to go. This is definitely a very nice and small system. And now both microphones will go to the transmitter. I took them out and they're already connected, as you can see on the green. And you could even start from the camera. Tap, 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 tap. And you can see on the transmitters, both of them are red. They're recording on the transmitter as well. So the camera could be back up. These could be back up, however you want to see that. And so you don't have to depend on your talent to hit record. Very nice. Bam. Okay, let's connect this to the smartphone. I mean, hypothetically, we're starting with this, right? So we're taking out the USB-C from the compartment. You pop out the receiver. Accidentally swiped, of course. So we put this in here. Bedoinkle. You have to say bedoinkle. It really pops in strong. Let's see if even with my smartphone case, oops, throwing it away, this works. And I guess the direction doesn't really matter. So if I'm filming this way, I probably want to see it this way. Yes. Whoa, that's a good connection. Okay. And now, quick check. Video. Because sometimes these things are connected, but you're still recording the internal mic. It happens all the time. Let's see if this is now firmly connected. Let me check this by going, right? Just by going. It is connected. And now we can make a reel. Okay, the mic is here. Let's see what we can do. I mean, that's not really in the way. I wouldn't bump it. Things will break off. You'll have to handle your phone carefully. Okay, I'm recording a video. I have clearly more level on this one than on the other one, which is now over on the table. Which means I would have to mute the other one, which I can do. Let me see right here from, I think I swipe right. You can see what I'm doing, but I can say mute on. Aha, and now you can only hear the one that is on my lapel. Here we are, we're making a reel. Here we are, we're making a reel. Here we are, we're making a reel. Blah, blah, blah. That's actually where I'm filming you guys. Got a little monitor, got a little camera, and that's how you walk across the world. There's a candle. You walk across the world and you see things, and you go Instagram-y. Oh, look, lady dancing, whatever. You know, that's how that works. Okay, after this, let me quickly show you two videos where I've already used this, just to, make sure I'm not getting paid to point it into a camera and I don't actually, know what I'm doing. And there's some really cool stuff that came out, and they work directly with the companies or the artists. It's a good system. And just like other profilers, effects are kind of not there. Apparently there's an issue with this blue guitar, and blue is exactly what we're doing. We are covering not just the 2025 news, which is what we're doing, but also all the blue shit. Because we know blue sounds better, so all the non-blue ones. So let's get to the bottom line, brass tacks here. I don't know how, because usually Sennheiser stuff is more expensive than their competition because it's German craftsmanship, German engineering and all that stuff. Is it even? I don't know. No, €298 street price for the whole system. For me, for a Sennheiser product, that's amazing. The DJI, $349. Okay, so you could say you're getting a 32-bit versus a 24, but you're getting less recording time, so that's a wash, but you're getting the active noise cancellation, and that's $50. Okay, if that's what you need. Size-wise, I mean, we're not really talking any difference that matters here. I absolutely love having everything in one location, because when you are running around on location with these things, having everything in here, being able to take this off, put it back in here, it's amazing. I love this. And then, of course, if you needed the little dead mice, they're in here. But for me, this is an absolutely amazing system. Likely, I will use this at trade shows and on the road. I'm Mr. Backup. I'll probably have the DJI in the case, but what I'm going to use is this. Because the transmitters are a tiny bit lighter than the DJI. And again, I just love I love everything about it. So it is $50 cheaper, which I don't know how Sennheiser did it. With that, they're also massively beating the Shure system. And, well, DJI has the Mic Mini, I think it's called now, which is affordable. It's very, very tiny. Really, it's very small. However, that doesn't have recording on the actual mic itself. And for me, that's the kicker, being able to have this as a recorder without even going somewhere. So for me, I didn't order that mic too, because I usually order everything, but I didn't because that mini, because it wasn't interesting for me. I read when this came out that the Sennheiser has a backup mode, which you can enable, but I don't really know what it does, because the manual does not in any way talk about it. So I don't know. At this moment, it's hearsay. It means that once you're getting out of transmission range, you're too far away, half a kilometer, whatever, and you can't transmit to the receiver anymore. Nice, it's showing me that it's recording. Then, wait, let's lock this just to be sure. Then it would automatically, because it can't transmit to the camera anymore, start recording here. So as soon as this loses transmission, recording is enabled and you're not losing anything. That is what I read. The manual does not talk about it. The manual does not go into the individual functions on the menu. I don't know why. The manual needs some help, Sennheiser. All that being said, this is kick-ass, and I'm not saying this because they commissioned this video. I've used it. I love the system. Thanks to my friends at Sennheiser. They're great people. I'll put links below. Please use them. Please don't use Honey. That's a bad browser extension that steals money from us and you, actually. Please watch videos on that. Uninstall Honey if you can. It doesn't help you. And we're going to put animals at the end, as always.
Creators rise, your time is now. With perfect sound, we'll show you how. No more echoes, no more noise. Sennheiser lifts your voice. Forget about the cable life. Live mics here, cuts through strife. Plug it in and you'll feel bliss. Wireless waves you won't